Hey everybody, get on in here. It's that time again. Uh-oh, I hit my magic wand hit the phone stand. Anyway, I have my tea. I made it and it's just right. You know, I'm Goldilocks. This porch is too hot and this porch is too cold. And this one is just right. I'm enjoying my tea. Mm. We had fun this morning, and then this afternoon on Leanne's show. Oh wow! Get on in here. So I gotta get some more topics. So put some topics in here that you want me to talk on because I am down to one topic in the wise old owl. Let's see what we got in the teapot. We have one left in the teapot. Yep. So today, this is 13 pages of topics that we went through. 13 pages. Liz has started collecting them. And teapots tomorrow. We'll finish up the teapot tomorrow. And I have it. Oh, goodness gracious. Leanne played a song by Cher, Strong Enough. And I didn't know the song. I had never heard the song. I guess it was an 80s song, and I'd never heard it. But it's a good song. I'm going to have to get the song. Anyway, Aretha Franklin did another song. And I will wait for everybody to get in here. We need about 200 people before I get started. Everybody says, you started without me. So drink up. This is my Saint Therese cup. Saint Therese cup. She was a nun in our century, and she died in 1924 of tuberculosis. And she says on the cup, I will spend my heaven doing good upon the earth. I will let fall from heaven a shower of roses. How beautiful is that? So every time I see a rose, I think about Saint Therese in heaven, and she figured out she called it the little way. She never thought that she could be a missionary and go into foreign fields and preach the gospel. But she came up with simple ways. And early on in the Fly Lady, when we started almost 20 years ago, somebody said, do you know about St. Therese? And I did not. I didn't even think about it at that time or even recognize what it was. But I read her autobiography, and it was powerful. It was a powerful book about how she found this little way of little things doing in the convent that she was determined. She was determined to be a nun. Her sister was the mother superior in the convent. It was a cloistered convent, so they didn't have outside contact. And she came up with little ways to bless other people. Little ways to bless other people. And she would do it with washing their clothes or helping them get to dinner, but she found joy in these little things. And it was just a powerful book. If you ever get a chance to read her book, then do it, because it'll touch you, because she was determined from an early age to become a nun, and she saw her name written in the stars, so to speak. So it was just, I've been to the shrine many times, and I love going there. I've had religious experience there, even though I'm not Catholic. So, folks, St. Therese found the little way, and we can all find a little way too. So there's 200 people in here, and here is the last topic I have pulled from our wise old owl. It's all about respect. And, we teach you to fly, finally loving yourself. Finally loving yourself is all about RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. That song says it all. It's theme song day. So doing things that show your self-respect. Yesterday, we watched Bobby in a video. Leanne mentioned it, but it made Leanne and I cry. She was respecting herself enough, and she played the Cher song. And if you're not a member of the group on the Hot Melt group, you just got to go sign up. You just to see this video, because what Bobby did was amazing. She took a full 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew out of her refrigerator, and she danced and dumped that sucker down the drain. And she said she was strong enough to do without it. My husband gave me a quote long time ago when Fly Lady first started, or when I first started flying, and I didn't even know what Fly Lady was at the time. He gave me this quote, and it said, "I am prosperous in proportion to what I can do without." He didn't even know who said it. I still don't know who said it. But think about it. Whatever we can do without makes us prosperous, makes us stronger. It gives us respect when we don't partake in those things. Think about it. When we don't drink the soda, if you're an alcoholic, when you don't drink the alcohol, if you're a drug addict, when you don't shoot up, when you don't take the drugs. So you see, we are prosperous in proportion to what we can do without. It's just so powerful. You can either be pitiful and be in your addiction, whatever it is, whether it's food, soda, you name it. We are strong. We have respect for ourselves when we let go of these things. When we take control of our life. Robert's downstairs right now, and Leanne and I have been talking about the switch. And our friends, Dan and Chip Heath, wrote a book called Made to Stick, The Switch, and Moments. They've written 3 books. They're 3 powerful books. These young men, one of them went to Duke, one of them went to Stanford. They're great young men. But there's some wonderful messages here. And this Made to Stick message, how to make things stick, how to flip the switch, and how to live in moments. Dan and Chip Heath. If you get a chance to read them, read their stuff. They get into the psychology of things. And so Leanne and I have been discussing the switch. How all of a sudden, after many years, I read a book Leanne gave me called Why We Get Fat. I read that book, and this huge light bulb moment went off. Boing! I gave Leanne some light bulbs the other day so she would have a light bulb to go boing. This light bulb moment. In fact, I'm going to go get my light bulb right now. Hold it just a second. I'll be right back. It's just in my bathroom. It's my emergency light. I'll be right back. I'm going to get it. Get my microphone on. So here's my light bulb. Think about this. A light bulb moment. How cool is this? Hang it right here, see if my lighting's better if I do that. Anyway, I had this light bulb moment when I read that book that I'm fat because insulin is trying to negate the sugar that's going through my veins. Insulin is, and then I store all my fat. Everything. It stores. So a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, it hit me. Well, I was thinking about my friend, Dr. Kemp. And Dr. Kemp was my neighbor. And he told me that all medicine is poison. You have to know the risk, and you have to deal with that. Some medicine is good, and some medicine is better than others. And he lived to be in his late 90s, and he said it's all poison, but you have to know if the benefits from it are going to outweigh the problems. And so I got to thinking about my blood pressure medicine, and that got me to thinking about it's got a diuretic in it. So the diuretic gets rid of the fluid that you're holding on to. But I have always eaten a lot of salt. And I mean, I took a salt shaker with me to go out to eat. It's crazy. And I would practically use this whole salt shaker about this big. It was about this big. And I'd use half of one on my food. That was probably about a teaspoon of salt put on my food. Wow. All of a sudden, the light bulb went off. Look at this. The light bulb went off. And I knew that if I'd quit eating that salt, then I might be able, at my next doctor's appointment, to get rid of the blood pressure medicine. So, in 2 weeks' time, and then we started the hot melt sprint on Monday, and I looked down last night. I was laying on the couch with my phone, watching Jeopardy or something on TV, and I looked down and I didn't even recognize my feet. I didn't recognize my toes because they've been little stubby toes, little fat toes. I hadn't had ankles. I had ankle bones. I had ankles, not cankles. I had ankles. And then I got to looking at my hands, and I had skinny fingers. I've never had skinny fingers, and my rings are loose. So when the light bulb moment goes off, that's when you flip the switch. I walked out of the room just a second ago, and automatically when I walk out of this room, I flip my light switch. The light switch flipped on for me, and I was able to recognize a negative behavior that was impacting my life. Can you hear that? The light bulb went off, and I was able to flip the switch to stop the negative behavior. And I've heard about this before in other people. Like a friend of Robert's, who was a lawyer, found out he had throat cancer, and he was able to put down the cigarettes just like that. No ifs, and never had a withdrawal symptom at all. Never had an urge for another cigarette. I've also known people that would start back smoking in a heartbeat. But I flipped that switch when the knowledge empowered me to show respect for my body. Bam! Flip the switch. I let go of the salt. Now, all of a sudden, things are too salty. Can you imagine that? Things are too salty. I don't even need salt on cucumbers. So, learning to respect ourselves, learning to love ourselves, we recognize things we would never recognize before. So, here's to respect. Here's to loving your body, loving yourself. Because if you don't do it, who will? If you don't do it, who will love you? I know you have family that loves you, but you have to take care of you. They're not going to stand, as Leanne said yesterday or day before yesterday. She used to have this routine when she started writing books. She had this old ratty sweater she'd put on. She had a little card table she'd set up over in the corner. And she had her bowl of M&Ms. Bowl of M&Ms. And she would have to hide them from the kids. And that was her guilty pleasure. Those kids weren't poking those M&Ms down her throat. She was doing that. And she was writing cookbooks and nutrition books. She doesn't do that anymore. Here's to respecting ourselves. Not putting, as Leanne says, C-A-R-B, garbage, down your throat. Don't do it. Because it's not loving you to do that. Find the respect for yourself by feeding your body good, strong, nutrition-dense food. Make every bite count in a way that you've never done before. Ever. I love you all. Let's see if I've gone over. Oh yeah. Gone over. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. It's Thursday, and you know what that means. That's our question and answer day. And if you have some questions, send them in. Put them in Facebook, put them wherever. We'll find them. Send them in to askflylady@flylady.net. I love you all. We can do this. We can do this. We really can. We don't have to wait till tomorrow. We can jump in right now and be conscious of what we're doing to ourselves. I'm having tea every day with you because I read in a book. Let me get it. Eat to Beat Disease. I saw Dr. William Lee, I saw his TED Talk where he talked about how tea helps to get rid of fat. It gets rid of the capillaries that feed the fat a blood supply. And then I had another light bulb moment. Where's my light bulb? Light bulb moment here. Light bulb moment. And that's probably trademarked by Oprah, but I don't care right now. That if the capillaries are feeding the fat, when the fat cells reduce smaller and smaller, this is my science mind working. When they get smaller and smaller, they still got a blood supply going to them. And that's why we gain the weight back. And then they're so happy to have gotten back to the size they were. They celebrate and get more. They get bigger. That's my light bulb moment. Let's drink the tea to our health. And two different types of tea mixed together makes it even better to get rid of those little capillaries that are feeding. Oh, somebody posted the TED Talk. It's a great TED Talk. We'll have more people coming in here for tea time. I like to drink all my tea. It's medicinal. Yep. And it has no pudding in it, no sugar, nothing. It's good old Earl Grey tea. So y'all have a great day. I hope we get a little rain in a minute. It's been thundering up a storm, so we'll see. And, go in peace. Be kind to yourself. Don't listen to things that are going to get you agitated. Listen to wholesome things. That's why Leanne and I are trying to fill you up with good stuff. We're your cheerleaders. And you're our cheerleaders. See you tomorrow with those questions. Bye.